Megan, so how concerned is the Clinton camp about these latest polls?
Look, I think we always expected these polls to tighten. That 20-point advantage was never something that was realistic. I don't think they're too concerned right now about these particular set of polls. I mean, as people have been making the argument yesterday and this morning, I mean, at this point in the race, Romney was ahead. Someone pointed me to a poll where Mike Dukakis was ahead in the race in this terms of national polling. They are not hugely indicative of where we are, particularly when we haven't had the head-to-head matchup that we expect to get so far, primarily because Hillary Clinton is still in a primary battle with Bernie Sanders. So I don't think they're concerned. What they will be concerned about is the lack of momentum and enthusiasm that still seems to dog her campaign, even as we head into the final stretch here.
Now, you mentioned Bernie Sanders, so how important a factor is he at this point?
He's still a hugely important factor. He's a hugely important factor in one, the amount of time that she has to spend defending against him, defending her platform, defending her priorities, defending where she wants to take this country is the less time she can spend trying to formulate a plan for how she's going to combat a candidate in Donald Trump that really is unlike anything we've seen in American politics in several generations. He's unpredictable. His message changes. He's flexible. He's a populist. He appeals to a weird cross-section of voters from the rich, the poor, uneducated, educated. He stitched together a broader coalition than many people think. And she has not had the amount of time yet to really focus all her energy on what she's going to do in a general election against a candidate like Donald Trump.
So, Megan, how do you go after Trump? What's the copybook?
Well, I can tell you there's 16 other Republican candidates who wish they had known the answer to that. It's very hard to tell what's going to resonate against Donald Trump. There's one weakness that has been identified in those polls you just showed, and one is that his continual refusal to release his tax returns. That could be something that shows that is rankling independent voters. A majority of Republicans would also like to see him release those returns. That's one possible avenue of attack. But remember that he showed a remarkable ability to sidestep and pivot. Once you see something that may gain traction, he simply pivots away, has an explanation, and moves on to something else. He is the ultimate showman. And as he starts putting more policy onto his platform, what's going to be really interesting to see is how he can defend certain of his policies once he sort of explains them more. We've only heard so much about the wall. We've heard a little bit about foreign policy. We've yet to see a sort of a domestic agenda writ large from Donald Trump.
Megan, Trump, no doubt happy with the so-called divisions within the Democratic Party, whether they exist or not. What about the divisions within the Republican Party? Are we any closer? Is Trump any closer to unifying the party?
I think there's still several things that need to get done for that to happen. Look, he still doesn't even have an open endorsement from Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House. He has more elites coming out and willing to say they support him, and that has been a trajectory we've seen. But he still has a big problem in terms of donors, in terms of how he's going to fund this campaign. Is he going to be able to get that big money in? That's a big question. And how many people are going to continue to say that no matter what, even when we get to Cleveland, I'm still never Trump, I'm still stop Trump. I don't think we're at that moment yet where he's truly consolidated the party behind him.
Megan, when Clinton goes after Trump in the next few months, should she focus on the issues on herself, or should she try to downplay Trump's ability to be the next president?
Let's be clear. This is going to be a very ugly fight. We've already had sort of overtones of that as we head into it. I think she'll be hoping against hope that she can focus on policy. The issue is you are dealing with a candidate who has not actually announced that many policies, who hasn't really explained what his policy is going to be in a wide variety of things, and who has shown a willingness to get down in the muck and fight dirty. And the Clintons have a lot of personal baggage. They have a lot of professional baggage. And Donald Trump is going to try and exploit that. Whether she'll be able to keep the high road is anyone's guess.